much for joining the On The Go Chat. I am Tabile Pamboga and I have a special guest today by the name of Karabo Moshoeshoe. But before we get into that, let's just get the formalities out of the way. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you have not, and to those that have subscribed, thank you so much. Do share with your friends and your family. Now that is out of the way, we can get this party started. How are you, Karabo?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. So you are an author, as the CEO of the Selfie House, a cyclist, a hiker, an aspiring photographer, an aspiring chef. Did I get it all?
Yeah, that covers a bit of everything that I do.
And is it all still true, and or have you added onto the list?
Yeah, man. I don't know. But I'm actually a very busy person. I keep myself busy. So, if not charity work that I do as well for the West Rand, for Kagiso and stuff, that's because I collect sanitary repairs, toiletries, food and electronics for a school that I had adopted as part of Kagiso Adventure Club in Extension 14. So part of then having people that I encounter in the hiking and cycling space, whenever we have an event or a meeting, then I would ask them just to give a donation towards the charity drives that I do as well. So there's a lot of things that I do. I hate cooking, but I know how to do it. I hate writing, but I have to do it. So it's just a matter of discovering myself, and I learn everything every time. Because this year I actually started learning how to be a DJ. I don't know what I'm going to do with that skill, but that's one thing that I've been doing, practicing. I've actually also done a course on script writing now the other day, also just to expand my talents, to say that what can I do further than what I know. I think just being stagnant and not doing anything just sometimes itches. So I have to figure out what can I do next. So I just finished script writing at the moment. So on to the next thing.
Okay. So you're done with the course of
Yes, I'm done with the course. And then in the week, I went to enroll for matric subjects that I didn't do when I was in matric. Okay. So I'm adding additional subjects to write next year, June.
Why?
Because I wanted to do chemical engineering. Okay. But I changed my mind in the course of that. I want to do accounting now. So, it's you know what? As I said, I'm uncovering myself, and I'm discovering new things about me. And so whenever I get a chance to get interested in something, then I go and do it.
Okay. Let me ask this. What did your parents do for a living?
Well, it's absolutely nothing more than working for the government.
Are they still working?
No. They both on retirement.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad was an interpreter at the court, and my mother was a nurse. They had about 4 decades of work for the government. Okay. So yeah, so they both on retirement.
All right. So, where did you grow up?
In Kagiso, the township.
Okay.
And not the side actually of Kagiso, because this is the more lavish side of Kagiso. Khasha type of setup, like the original Kagiso. That's where I grew up. And I think that's what, growing up in those circumstances, and it just wants you to break away from that type of a life. So this is not the life I want to grow up to, because of, even if I go back there, I see people that I saw 20 years ago. Actually, they have regressed in life, understand? So, and see myself come out of that situation, it's something that really I can be proud of. Not even the circumstances used to encourage me to do better, because those circumstances don't encourage you. You understand? Where BA is just easily available, where drugs are easily available. And to be able to come out of that situation and be able to do whatever that I did, I think I can really pat myself on the back to say that I've really come a long way.
True, definitely. Because I'm asking that because of what you're saying you're doing now, and you're always trying to learn a new skill. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. So just wanted to find out if perhaps where your upbringing and your surroundings, were they the reason that helped shape who you are now?
No, not at all.
Yeah. From what you explained, definitely not at all. So what pushes you to say, okay, you know what, I've done this, on to the next one, or let me push myself or challenge myself even further?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've started to embrace this. I'm a very smart individual.
Okay.
I didn't know this up until 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
I thought that what I do is normal, and normal people, average people do this.
Yeah.
Until some people call me, but what you're doing is not normal. And when I then sit back and look at my history, then I realize actually people saw the potential in me that I didn't see. You know, I started working in a call center. I only lasted a year, and my then boss then recruited me to another company where immediately when I got there, they made me team lead.
Oh wow.
And from there,
so he saw your potential even back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was 22, I think 23 at the time.
Oh, wow.
And then I only worked a year as a team leader, and I was made a manager, and only worked 12 months, and I was made a senior manager.
Sure.
In one of the biggest financial institutions in Africa. You understand? And at the time, for me, it was normal. You understand? I was 24, I was a senior manager in one of the biggest corporations in Africa.
Did you study for that, or did you just one of those that...
Everything that I've done in my entire life, I've never studied for.
You're kidding.
And I promise you, and for me, it was just business as usual.
Yeah.
You understand? But then, when I do some retrospective view from a vantage point, where did I get all of this in the 10 years that I've really spent in corporate, and I grew so much. And then that's when I said, 2 years ago, I started realizing, actually, no man, this is not normal.
Yes.
You understand? That's when I came to a realization that, you know what, I can actually do better than what I have. Had I known my abilities, I would have taken school more seriously in the beginning. You understand?
I know what you mean.
Because of one thing that I have is that I've got a very good memory.
Yes.
So in my life, I have not studied for anything.
Long term?
Yes.
Or short term?
Bit of both.
Okay.
I have not studied for anything in my life. I've never read a book in my life, despite me being an author.
Why I'm laughing? Because exactly that I'm like, what?
Exactly. So I attend class and I absorb whatever they say and I go write. And for me, I used to just do that so had I even studied further than what I listened in class, I think I would have had like almost straight A's from tertiary and high school. But because I used this gift that I had and I actually just made it
took it for granted.
Yeah, I took it for granted.
It's normal. It's what I do.
It's what I do, and I didn't take it that seriously. Now when I look at my life, I'm like, hey man, I could have got about 2 PhDs now.
I know, right?
And I take it that serious. So that's I said, only 2 years ago I then discovered that actually, hey man, there's something different with me, and I had to embrace it. And that's why I'm doing everything that I can. And at the present moment, like, okay, what can I do next?
Wow.
Understand? Yeah, so that's why I am.
Now, when you say that I'm fresh, I'm having flashbacks of my own, upbringing. I'm like, actually, I was exactly that. And I remember this girl. Her name is Tembile. She used to say, when you're so smart, you're so brilliant, but you don't see it. And if you just put the effort, you'll be so far. And I'll be like, And I'll do exactly like go to class and they'll come back. I was in boarding school. They'll come back, they're studying, and I'll get so frustrated during study class because my mind is like, what's happening? And people are writing. I'm like, what are you guys writing? They're like, we're writing notes. I'm like, what notes? Like, no, to study for test or whatever. And I never could do that. And now, like, what you're saying is like, oh my gosh. But yeah. So now you say that you've never read a book. You don't like to read books. How on earth then did you get to write Resuscitated?
So I don't, as I said in school, I did not read. I listen and I absorb the information. So with me then, I am a visual learner. So I need to watch a video or I need to listen to an audiobook. Then I can be able to grasp what's happening. Because of my attention span is literally 10 seconds. So I can't even read a full article. Because I just browse through them. Like my mind, because I didn't even know that that's a talent. My mind just browses through the important words and I can summarize whatever I've written. Yes. So reading a book, I can't do it because I can't sit and read like this. I lose interest in 10 seconds. I'd rather count the tiles on the floor than finish reading the book. So officially, there's a fellow author that wrote a book that I actually read and finished for the first time in my life. That I started a book and finished. This is like 2 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and I prefer to, if somebody tells me, hey, there's a book, I said, please give me is there a movie to it, or give me a video.
Yes,
And I said,
yes.
that's how better I can learn. Well, I'm driving, I've got earphones on, and I can,
can
easily
listen.
then absorb that information. Even when watching movies now, I get lost so easily. So I prefer now to watch movies with headsets because they keep me glued to the screen.
The screen, yeah.
Because I just lose focus and think of other things. I'm an overthinker, so I think that's one of the problems I've had.
You've got wandering eye. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
what is there? What?
Exactly.
You're like, okay, I was doing this.
Exactly.
It's a bad thing and a good thing. I know it's a bad and a good thing at the same time, because then you're able to have multiple conversations, or can, pay attention to something at the side that is happening while you're here, and you go back like, actually no, that's not it.
Exactly.
And you go back, like I said, curse and a blessing at the same time. So the book Resuscitated.
Yes.
Resuscitated, right?
Yeah.
Can you just tell me briefly about it?
So Resuscitated, it's a book about a prostitute.
Okay.
She's troubled, really, a troubled young lady who's got a very acrimonious past relationships that really affect her future. And then one day she then falls in love with this Italian guy, and then one day when love comes, she doesn't know how to handle love because she's never experienced love. Because in the world of prostitution, it's just pure masculinity that just rules that world. Where if you got clients and they tell you what to do and they boss you around, they push you around, and then when you find a very feminine type of love, then she can't be able to handle it. So then this man has to be patient with this girl, because knowing what type of world she comes from, and there's a lot of drama in it, where there is hospitals, police stations, there's even a murder case. So it's just
really drama.
Yeah, it's drama. It has
crime,
exactly,
action.
Yes, but it's at the end of the day, it's a love story, but it has so many holes in it.
Okay. Yeah. But what made you write it? What prompted you to write this book?
You know what? I won't say that I have. As I said, I hate writing. How I started writing, how I uncovered that I could write. I was sitting at an airport. I was waiting for a flight, and I had my iPad with me, and I had about 6 hours waiting for the flight. I was like, what can I do? And especially at that time, there was no TikTok.
Yes.
So I'm glad there was no TikTok at the time. I wouldn't have started writing books. So I was on YouTube, and you've watched so much YouTube videos.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, here's a notes section of my iPad. What can I do? And that's when I started writing a dialogue between two people.
Okay.
And from there, like, okay, this is making sense.
Okay.
And then I started building from there. But because of I didn't know anybody anything, and I didn't have a deadline, I just
went about it.
Yeah, and then every year New Year's resolution comes. It's like, hey, let me finish the book.
Oh.
And then the inspiration only lasts me about 2 weeks, and then I leave it.
Because of that short concentration.
Exactly. And the next year, the same thing. So it took me about 8 years to write the book.
Really?
Yes, it took me about 8 years to write the book, because it was just touch it and leave it, touch it and leave it. But last year, because I had so much time in my hands, I said, you know what, I've got the time, let me finish this book. And I wrote half of the book in about 2 months, 2 months, and then I finished the book. And yeah, and then after that, then I wrote my second book, which now it's launching in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Which now that one I wrote in a shorter period.
So already in practice now.
Yes, because I knew, okay, what is the benefits of discipline, understand? Because I didn't have discipline at the time. Now that because I'm a deadline oriented person, if there's no deadline, I won't do it. So now I had to now discipline myself and set deadline for myself. You understand? So because of, for me, if there is no deadline,
then it's just gonna sit there.
There's no rush. You understand?
Yeah.
And I don't owe anybody anything.
So
yeah,
it's one of those.
Exactly.
I'll do it. I won't do it. I'll see.
Yeah. So that's how I came to write the book.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's doing quite well, and I'm quite impressed with myself actually.
In the back. So you did corporate for a couple of years, and then you like 2020. Actually, I'm done. I'm getting self-employed. Why? Where? What did you start with? What was going on?
You know what? I think I have about 20 business plans that I have developed in the past 10, 15 years.
Okay.
From small business to massive billion-rand businesses that I have actually thought of. But I don't have the desire at the time to be able to say, can I go into business? Because of, the risk. and also the comfort of a salary actually it just throws you off, and then you
just stay there.
Yeah, and then at some point I had to jump to say that when can I be able to do the jump to be able to go into business. And then I was browsing through TikTok, and I found about 4 businesses that I picked up on TikTok. And I said, but these are doable. This is where I can start to be able to build whatever that I need to build in with these small businesses. And then that's when I got the vision to say that, but I don't need to be here every time, because of the amount of time that you spend. Well, personally, because I don't want to speak for other people, because I know that there's people that are meant to be in corporate, and there are people that are actually prefer to be entrepreneurs. And I said the time that I spend here is the time that I'll be able to spend on my own personal things. However, what is the cushion that you have? If you have a cushion to say that, you know what, I can have a cushion to say I can fall back on this. If that doesn't work, that can work for me. Other people don't have the privilege to say that this is the only business idea I have. If that doesn't work, then there's nothing.
Then what? Yeah.
So to be able to re-implement yourself and to invest in yourself, it's actually a great deal that maybe some people overlook. To be able to say, if this fails, what then? So a lot of people say, if corporate fails, they have nothing really to sit back on. So I have all these ideas, and I've documented these ideas and said, but I've been documenting business ideas all these years. When am I going to start? So the first thing is that you need to start, and that's when I pushed myself to say that I need to start a business, and I need to start pushing other businesses that will build other businesses.
What was the first business that you started with?
So the first business is I was doing graphic designing.
Okay.
From graphic designing, then I moved over to the Selfie house, which is a photo studios where people take selfies with their phones, and it's just a big studio with about 22 studio backgrounds and stuff. So this is the business that I did in 2020 when it started, and it was in Melville.
Okay. The Melville branch.
Yes.
And then is the same branch that moved now to the Hartis?
No, Hartis, that's a competitor.
Oh, okay.
That's a competitor.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they chose the same name, and
so it's not the same franchise?
No.
You're kidding?
Yeah, no, it's not. And the unfortunate part is that because at the time that I opened it, I didn't patent the idea. So not patenting the idea is that it gives other people a chance. But this is a business model.
I like this. Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
So they took the exact same business model, exact same name, and
and they just removed the and same.
But the same concept.
Yeah, same concept, and it has also opened in a few areas. I think there's one in Rosebank.
Yes.
Mall. There's one at the Prison Break.
Market.
So after I opened it, then they boomed out, and then they had other similar businesses doing this similar thing.
And then you just left it like that.
The idea is to relocate the business.
Okay.
Relocate the business to a certain place that I have identified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say the name because of once I say the name, they'll be on it again.
Of course, we'll jump.
So there is a place that I'll be reopening shortly in. But once everything is set up, then I'll make the announcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we shall be looking out for that. And then after that, what did you get into?
So after that,
is it what you're doing now? Is it what you're doing now, or? Because I see you're a man of many talents. Like you're just.
But I do a lot of things, man. I'm still doing the graphic designing.
Okay.
I write books. I do voiceover artistry, and then stop writing now, as I said earlier. And now I've just started with a company where I am the CFO. It's a very, unfortunately I can't say much about the idea. It has to do with energy, and with the energy crisis in South Africa. Okay. So I can't really say much about it because there's still a bit of a media frenzy around the whole energy issues in South Africa. So that's what currently I'm now doing with the company.
Okay. So having spoken to you from the beginning, having done this, having done that, been there, and I need to ask this. What are you not good at? Because now you know what you're good at. What are you not good at?
I'm a very shy person.
Okay.
And I envy people that have, the ability to to have people in the palm of their hands. I'm very reserved.
Okay.
I'm a bit of an introvert.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a bit of a hint of extrovertedness.
I never believe introverts. They always say that, and then you look and you have a chat with them, you're like, where is this introvertness you're talking about? Like, what is talking about?
So with me, at least I can say that I did 3 psychometric assessments.
Okay.
And they have proved me to be more of an introvert than an extrovert.
Okay.
So I can't just, it's actually...
I still don't believe
on
it.
black and white.
I still don't believe it.
So, yeah, in sports, man, I was average in sports. I was like, I can't say that. So sports, I failed at sports.
Which sport did you try?
I played cricket.
Okay.
Yeah, I was average
No.
in cricket. Soccer, not so great, but yeah. So in sports, I would have really loved to have been a sports person. And yeah, I can sing. I can't even dance to save my life. So those are things that I can pick on top of my head that I can't do.
So you're not the typical Kasi guy. You know, somehow people think if you grew up a Kasi, automatically you know how to play soccer or you should play soccer. Where does that come from?
No, I used to play soccer, but you know...
You were not good at it.
Yeah, there were better guys.
Yeah.
I can say that. There were better guys,
yes.
And I didn't take it to a level where they took it. I was like,
you realized to say,
yeah, to say that, no, this is not for me. I can play leisure and then
yes. It's okay.
Professional, no. So I didn't join any team, EKC or anything like that. I just played in the streets with my friends and that's all I could do.
Yeah, that's all. And you were at peace with it.
Yes.
You're like, okay, let me move on to the next one. So what does a CEO do?
Okay, so you are accountable for the whole business.
Okay.
Understand, from cleaner to security to finance to the last employee in the company.
Okay.
Where you have to ensure that the company that you're heading is profitable. I think that's the first and most important thing. You have to have the company running.
Okay.
You need to ensure that your clients' needs are met. You need to ensure that your internal clients, which is your internal clients, which is your employees, their needs are met. You need to make sure that there is sufficient finances to keep the company running. You need to ensure that your goals for your company, there are short-term goals and long-term goals, and they tie into each other to be able to say that, is your company sustainable in the future? And in that is that you can be able to do a forecasting to say that, you know, and you have to look at maybe in retrospect to say, what has the company done and how effective can you take the company forward? And because of a lot of companies, they start and they end quite quickly because of when people go into business, they think the idea of going into business is just to make money. And the first idea is that the first core principle of business is that, is there a need for whatever you want to provide? For your services, is there a requirement? Understand? And from there, then that's when you can think of how then can you be able to charge for whatever services that you want, that you provide, so they can be able to make money. So I think the idea of just people just starting business with the idea of making money, that's a wrong way of doing things. You need to make sure that your services are required.
Would you say that you've been a good CEO of your businesses as well as of your life?
I would say of my businesses, yes, because I've taken a lot of learnings from working in corporate. Because of about 95% of my time in corporate, I worked in management.
Okay.
I only worked as a call center consultant for 11 months
when you started.
In 2 weeks when I started. And after that, I've been in management all my time. So when you are in management, you are accountable for a lot of things. Not only are you accountable for the performance of the team, you're accountable for your team as well. You're accountable for deliverables. It's your team delivering what it's supposed to be. Your teaming, you need to make sure that your team is high performance teaming. You need to do talent management. All these things that I've learned in corporate over the years, it's what I can implement in my business. So it made it much more easier to actually open a business, having the experience in corporate, to say that, you know what, I ran a company, my department like this. Can I run my company like that?
Yeah.
Because if I can think back, I think my last few years in corporate, annually I was accountable for about 1.5 billion.
Sure.
Where, like in a month, I would have about 120, 130 million go through my department. So if you can be able to account, they trust you that amount of money to be able to go through your department. Surely that they see something that they can entrust you with. So surely you can run a business like that.
Okay.
So in my life, CEO of my life, you know, it's in life you have your ups and downs. I recently went through a divorce. You know, lost a portion of business. You lost your house. You lose your cars, and everything else. And that's part of self-management. And it's unfortunate that sometimes when a marriage doesn't really involve you alone. It involves someone else and other people with their kids. So managing that is that you have to manage yourself and other people. So self-management has been quite difficult. But now that I'm now by myself, I think I have now. That's why I now started in the past 2 years to do a lot of things. No, but I've got the time in my hands now. You understand? So I think in the past 2 years I've done very well on a personal level. I got to finish the book. I've got to write another book.
There you go.
And I've got to do a few courses that I have done over the years. And I think for now I'm doing quite well personally.
Would you say that having gone through the divorce has also taught you how to manage better, like your personal life?
Yes, very true. And I think, well, from a negative perspective, and now that I see marriage different.
Okay. How?
Is necessary. That's the how.
Okay.
But my opinions were different about.
That's why I go deep into that. But
my opinions were different about marriage about 15 years ago.
Okay.
Understand? And now that I was married and out of marriage,
okay,
I see marriage different now. There's a few learnings from marriage that you learn.
What did you see then?
I think growing up in a very traditional home and a very religious home as well, marriage is really a force that's being pushed on both angles.
Okay.
From in a Christian home, you know, marriage is the ultimate focus. Is that when you grow up, you need to get married and you start a family. Traditionally, as well as you grow older, it's unyale. You understand? That's so. And I think when a person got married when I was dating at the time, was that I was dating for the purpose of getting married. You understand? Okay. And also because of the pressure of
family.
So you end up saying, okay, the next one I can.
Yes.
And then now that I'm older now,
and have gone through the process and everything that comes with being married.
Yeah, is it necessary to get married?
Okay.
That's the question that I'm asking myself. Like I'm enjoying my own space.
You want to pull an Oprah here?
I'm thinking that. And if pulling on Oprah as well, I want to live by my own place by myself. I don't want a person that I'm accountable for and I need to answer to. So when you live with somebody in the same house, you need to be accountable for your actions. Yeah. You understand? You need to be able to explain yourself. And I think I'm at levels that I don't need to explain myself. If I want to go to Jamaica now, I want to go to Jamaica. I don't want to ask for any permission. Because with me, with the life that I live a very outdoor type of a life.
Yeah.
You understand? Where I can wake up on a Saturday morning and I drive to Kimberley.
Yeah.
You understand? From there I drive to Bloemfontein. From there I drive to Kruger National Park. Monday morning I'm back and I continue with my life.
Okay.
When you are married, it's a different way. You can't just up and leave. There's still crash that you need to consider. There's still there. There's still that.
Discussions.
So I think looking at my life right now, marriage is not even close to an option.
Yeah.
So I might change in the next few years maybe.
Yeah.
But for now, that's my stance and I very much stand on it.
So are you single?
Currently, yes, I'm single. I think I don't think I'm at the right space.
Yeah.
Also, frame of mind. You know, divorce was finalized sometime last year.
Oh, so it's just quite a recent thing.
Yeah. So I think I'm at a space in my life where I don't think I'm adding value in anybody's life. You understand? And maybe one day when the right person comes in.
I guess also just get yourself right.
Yeah.
Like mentally, emotionally, everything. Because
exactly.
I mean, guys, you know, people don't understand that divorce takes a lot out of a person.
Yes.
I've seen people getting divorced and I've seen people change or, you know, some other, they become, I don't know, something else. You know, you're like, okay, you're like, it's not you. Or maybe was this you all along, like, You know what I mean? And people don't take time to heal and, do an introspection and all of that.
Divorce is very different to just a normal breakup. And
I believe so.
I took it lightly.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to leave this marriage, and I left. Yeah. Whether you are the initiator or you are it doesn't matter. The emotional toll is on both parties.
Right.
And it's quite severe. It involves families as well, you understand? With the breakup, it's just boyfriend, girlfriend. God.
Yes.
You heal after a month, you go to the next one.
Yeah.
With marriage, it's a bit different because of
it's family.
Yeah.
It's
so
key.
yeah. So it's a lot of it's a lot more emotionally draining than just a normal breakup. Because normally people will tell, no, divorce. No, it's not a breakup. But no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And I now when a person says they want to get married, they want my advice. I don't have good advice to give. Yes, I tell the person that, you know what, marriage is a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against marriage. Is that for me personally? I said, you know what, I think I'm better by myself than being in
marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you tell people that, oh, no, your mind will change, I'm very consistent.
I'm okay.
I know what I'm talking about. You understand? But let's see how the world turns out in the future. We don't know. Maybe things might change.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I'm really worried about the next partner that I get because of now. When you come with lessons and teachings, and like,
oh yeah, and you're super careful now,
yes.
because now you're coming from the other side.
Exactly.
Hopefully, they're also from the other side.
Yeah, maybe
they might understand. Because if they've never been to the other side,
they wouldn't understand.
Hey, shame, man. They're in trouble. They definitely wouldn't understand. They're like, oh man, why are you so negative? Or why don't you want to marry me? And you're like, yeah.
Exactly.
You're not doing that, girl.
Yeah, but those are things that you have to then upfront then discuss.
Yes.
And he says,
yes,
hey, lady, here there's no marriage, there's no kids. Are you in or out?
True. I really agree with you. I think we're now at the stage whereby we all should be honest from the onset.
Yeah.
To say, what do you want? This is what I want.
Yeah.
Is what I want what you want?
Mm-hmm.
And these are my my limits,
Yes.
It's like a deal breaker for me, because before, like you said, obviously we were dating to get married, and sometimes there are things that you never discuss, and we all got married for different reasons, but the main one was because we had to get married, right? But obviously everyone had different reasons, and most conversations were never had. Honest conversations were never had.
That's very true.
Money, assets, who does what, if I get a job wherever, will you relocate? Or this is where we stay, when we buy a house, which suburb are we staying at? You know what I mean? And we all just,
you just think of the big day and nothing beyond.
Yes, and then sometimes that's how it doesn't work out, because then you realize, and as a person, I've realized that we all grow. I mean, a person I was a month ago, the things have changed a month ago.
That's so true.
That's
very true.
Sometimes in relationships, then we suffer, we struggle, to accept that, to say, but you said your favorite color is red.
Yes, and that's why I normally tell people to say that, you know what, when a partner says you've changed, I said that is the purpose of life. I can't be the same person I was 10 years ago.
True.
And over time, what I used to like, I don't like it. Yes. What was important for me then, it's no longer important now. Then my priorities have now changed, you understand? And I think that's quite difficult, and if a couple maybe doesn't really, then there are ways, then they don't intertwine anymore. And they just run parallel next to each other. So you doing you, I'm doing. And there's no then purpose to be married anymore.
I guess what I'm saying is, and I'm assuming you might be in the same page with me here, that it's important to check in.
Yes.
Now and again.
Very much so.
In a relationship, to say, are we still on the same page?
Yeah.
Or even same book? Because sometimes you're not even reading the same book.
And I think the hustling and bustling of life, people forget to check in.
Yes.
And you are so unconscious that he's here, she's here. Yeah,
we are doing this.
Exactly. And I think if people were to touch base much more often, and I think it's either people will divorce sooner, or they will relook at their marriages.
Yes.
And I think one of the blessings that came out of my divorce is that my friends had the chance to really actually reevaluate their marriages. But I think about 3 people that I know of two of them divorced because of me.
You're kidding.
And one broke away because of because of when I tell them about what my purpose is in life and why I left the marriage. Then they saw that actually they've been sitting for nonsense. And in that, they took a decision to say that, but I'm actually out as well.
Yeah.
Some of them was like, we've been separated, like, okay, but let me finalize it. So I had that one-on-one talk with my friends.
Home wrecker you.
But I think it was just I was just that light.
Basically, like the last push that was needed.
Yes.
It was already, like a dying horse.
Yes. Indeed.
It just needed that
activation, and then it happened.
No, look, we can talk about so many things and go into so many things in marriage, because marriage, I think, it's something that people talk about, but I don't think we talk about it enough in the right relevance of what it is, what is needed, what is not needed. You know what I mean? And again, with most black families, like you said, we it's pressure, and people don't dissect it,
Yes.
and people are not given enough chance to search, do I even want to get married?
Yeah.
Because that's another question. But anyway, there's a topic for another day. Sure, I think we're running out of time. Actually, I think we've run out of time. But one more question.
Yes.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Just one?
Just one.
I don't know, I've got 5 in mind.
One. I want one. Your top superpower. I knew you would have a lot. So I'm like, give me one. Because I already see whether you spring around.
I think one superpower that I want to have is knowing what to do when. Because of, we do a lot of useless things in life, and we realize later, why did I do that? And there's a lot of opportunities that we lost because of we were not sure at the time. So I think knowing the strike time to say that do this now because these are the results in future. That's what I want. The superpower would have wanted to say that, if you invest in MTN now, in 1,000 rand, it will grow by 100%. It will be 100,000 rand in this time. So that's because you know the future.
Yes, when the guarantee.
Yes.
On that note, I guarantee you that's not going to happen. But thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Karabo Moshoeshoe. As you heard, is an author that did not like to write or even read, but he's got 2 books under his belt. I shall be posting the books, and also if you need to just get hold of him, I'll also be posting his socials where you can get hold of him, so you can get the books or get a bit of information or advice on business, because this man has been around. But if you want to do that, please be more than welcome to check out his socials. I'll just post them on below, right here at the end of this episode. And on that note, thank you so much for tuning in. This is On The Go Chats with myself, Tabile Pamboga. And remember, please do like and subscribe and share with your friends, and tell the Mganis and the friends and the chommers and the gogos, Uti, it's happening this side On The Go. We'll be having more On The Go Chats and on the move. Thank you so much. Have yourself a lovely day.